ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशितारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण जय चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रिय द्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। There's just very few of us. I think because it's a holiday, everyone is busy today in other things. So let's get started. So till verse 225 was covered by Narayani Kripamai Mataji yesterday. It's a very beautiful and very interesting section. How we are learning about the interactions between various devotees, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, how finally he is able to escape from home, his long cherished desire to take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, that is fulfilled. And then his acharan, his behavior there, showing us how really a true renunciant should be. So that is what we are learning. And today also we learn many lessons. And Lord Chaitanya is also going to give personal instructions. Okay, so it's very nice. Let's start reading. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So the last verse, 22-25, that was read, it says that if a renunciant is eager for his tongue to taste different foods, his spiritual life will be lost and he will be subservient to the taste of his tongue. Okay, so let's move forward to 26 onwards. Yeah, Padma Mataji, please read 5 verses, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
वैरागीराकृत्य सदा नाम संकीर्तन शाखा पत्र फल मूले उदार भरण. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. The duty of a person in the renounced order is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra always. He should satisfy his belly with whatever vegetables, leaves, fruits, and roots are available. Text 2 to 7. जीवार जीवार लाल से ये इति उति धाया कृष्णोदर पर्या परायण कृष्ण नहीं पाया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is subservient to the tongue and who thus goes here and there, devoted to the genitals and belly, cannot attain Krishna. Text 228. आरदिना रघुनाथ स्वरूप चरणे अपनार कृत्या लागी कैला निवेदने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next day, Raghunatha Das inquired at the lotus feet of Swarupa Damodara about his duty. 229. Ki lagi chandaila ghare na jani uddesha कि मोरा कर्तव्य प्रभु कर उपदेशा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I do not know why I have given up household life, he said. What is my duty? Kindly give me instructions. Text 230. प्रभुरा आगे कथा मात्र न कहे रघुनाथ स्वरूप गोविंद द्वारा कहाय निज बात. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Raghunatha Dasa never even spoke a word before the Lord. Instead, he informed the Lord of his desires through Swarupa Damodara Goswami and Govinda. Thank you, Mataji. Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So in this section, we are reading firstly that how a renunciant should chant the Hare Krishna mantra always. That should be the main duty, main work, that the renunciant chants Hare Krishna all the time. And if obviously there is need to satisfy the belly, but that should be with whatever vegetables, leaves, fruits, and roots are available. So the basic idea is that one should not be after gratification of senses. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has explained that these three senses, they are in a line: the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. So one who is running after satisfying or gratifying one's tongue, then such a person will always remain a servant of the belly and the genitals. So he'll not be able to control the belly and the genitals if one does not have control over the tongue. That is why it's very important that the tongue should be controlled first, and then the belly genitals will come under control. And a person who does not have such a control over these senses, such a person cannot attain Krishna. So that is why it is very, very important that the tongue, the belly, and the genitals are brought under control. And then in 228, we read that how Srila Raghunath Das would always make inquiries at the lotus feet of Sarup Damodar about his duty. So he's asking that I don't know why I have given up household life, why am I here, what are my duties, please give me instructions. So, this is like the counselor system, right? That every devotee is given the shelter of a counselor. And then it's not that all the devotees have to go and directly talk to the very senior devotees all the time. It's not practical also, right? And as the movement grows, there are so many so many devotees who are joining, who need personal care and concern, and it may become difficult for the seniors to take care of all the devotees all the time. And that is why the counselor system is so wonderful, or the mentor mentee system, where one devotee, one senior is in charge of taking care of the devotees under them, and this ensures that everyone gets personal attention. So here we are reading that how Mahaprabhu has started the counselor system, because he said that you will be under the care of Sarup Damodar. And here it is mentioned that Raghunath Das never even spoke a word before the Lord, but he informed the Lord of his desires. How? Through Sarup Damodar Goswami and Govinda. Okay, so through his seniors, he was approaching the Lord, not directly. Okay, yeah, let's move forward. Arun Gupta Prabhu, yeah, please read 5 verses, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Prabhu.
प्रभुर आगे स्वरूप निवेदिला आराधीने रघुनाथ निवेदया प्रभुर चरणे. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next day, Swarup Damodar Goswami submitted to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das has this to say at your lotus feet. Text 232. कि मोरा कर्तव्य मुनि न जानी उद्देशा आपनी श्री मुखे मोरे करा उपदेशा. Translation: I do not know my duty or the goal of my life, therefore please personally give me instructions from your transcendental mouth. Text 233. Hasi Mahaprabhu Raghunathere kahila tomara updeshita tomara updeshta kari swarupe dila. Translation: Smiling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das, I have already appointed Swarup Damodar Goswami as your instructor. Text 234. Sadhya sadhana tattva sikha ihara sthane ami tata nahi jani iho yata jane. Translation: You may learn from him what your duty is and how to discharge it. I do not know as much as he. Text 235. तथापि आमारा आज्ञाया श्रद्धा यदि होया आमारा ए वाक्य तबे करी है निश्चय. Nevertheless, if you want to take instructions from me with faith and love, you may ascertain your duties from the following words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So Sarup Damodar Goswami takes that plea, that question, that inquiry to Mahaprabhu, that Raghunath Das is asking. He wants to make inquiry as to what is his duty, what should he do. And Mahaprabhu says that Sarup Damodar Goswami is very capable. And Mahaprabhu, humbly is saying that I do not know as much as Sarup Damodar knows. So he says, you take instructions from Sarup Damodar Goswami, but Mahaprabhu says that if you want some instructions from me, then about your duties, then I will give you some instructions. So Mahaprabhu is going to give some instructions to Raghunath Das Goswami, and that means these are instructions for all renunciants. And these are very famous verses where Mahaprabhu is giving very important instructions. So let's read forward. Yeah, Krishnamurti Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yeah, please read 5 verses.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranam, Prabhu.
ग्राम्य कथा ना सुनिबे ग्राम्य वर्तन कहिबे भाला न कहिबे हरा भाला न परिभे. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Do not talk like people in general or hear what they say. You should not eat very palatable food, nor should you dress very nicely. Text 237. Amani manadahana Krishna nama sadalabe Raja Radha Krishna seva manase karibe. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Do not expect honor, but offer all respects to others. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna and within your mind render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavana. Shall I read purport, Mataji? Purport by Sri
Yes,
Bhaktivedanta
Prabhu.
Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakura says in this Amrita Pravaha Bhashya that when a man and woman are married, they beget children and are thus entangled in family life. Talk concentrating such family life is called a Gramya Katha. A person in the renounced order never indulges in either hearing or talking about such subjects. He should not eat palatable dishes, since that is unfit for a person in the renounced order. He should show all respect to others, but should not expect respect from himself. In this way, one should chant the holy name of the Lord and think of how to serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavana. Text 238. एतास एतास एतासांक्षेपे आमिकुलिना उपदेशा स्वरूपे रथानि इहारा पाई बे विशेषा. Translation Basi Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. I have briefly given you my instructions. Now you will get all details about them from Swarupa Damodara. Text 239. तुनादपि सुनिसेन तारोरिव सहिष्णुना अमानिना मनदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः. Translation Basi Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. One who thinks himself lower than grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Text 240. ಏತಸುನಿ ರಘುನಾಥ ವಂದಿಲ ಚರಣ ಮಹಾಪ್ರಭು ಕೈಲತಾಂದ್ರೆ ಕೃಪಾ ಆಲಿಂಗನ. Translation Basi Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Having heard this, Raghunatha Dasa offered prayers at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord, out of great mercy, embraced him. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu Pranam. So, in this section, we are reading some very important instructions that Lord Chaitanya is giving. So, we understand that, and the system is that one approaches one senior and then those doubts are clarified. But it's not like that, the other seniors are not approachable at all. Like in this case, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, yes, he's asking Sarup Damodar Goswami, who in turn is asking Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu is still very personal and he is definitely reachable too. So Mahaprabhu is also personally giving some instructions to Raghunath Das Goswami about how a renunciate should be. So the first one is that one should not talk about useless things, like, okay, he said that, she said that, this happened, that happened, all these kind of, the Prajalpa, it's called the Gramya Katha. This is all useless kind of conversation. It doesn't actually serve any purpose. It doesn't help us in any way. It just wastes our time. So these are useless talks that one has to avoid, and not hearing and not speaking also, because whatever we hear, that is what we speak. Like they say that garbage in, garbage out, right? So if we're going to fill our mind with garbage, then when we start speaking, that garbage only will come out. So that's why it's very important that we have to control what we are hearing, so that whatever comes out of our mouth is also meaningful. And we should not become a servant of our tongue, this tendency that I want to eat this, I want to eat that, always running behind that. So that also we have to avoid. And this tendency to, show off our clothes and show other people how wonderful I am looking, what wonderful dress I am wearing. It's not like, practically it's not possible that one is dressing up like the sannyasis do, or, like the Goswamis of Vrindavan used to dress up. They are, they are the highest renunciates. So we cannot really copy what they used to do. But the idea here is that one should not be dressing up to show off other people and to show others how much, how much opulence I have, and in turn expect that, appreciation from others. So yes, when we are in a preaching mission, we have to meet people, or we may have our other work, family responsibilities. There will be a certain expectation that we have to dress in a particular manner, and that we have to maintain. We have to be presentable, but the focus should not be on ourselves. Yes, we are dressing up so that we can preach properly. We are dressing up so that, people don't take us lightly and don't think that, oh, devotees are always in tatters. Not like that. But the whole idea is that what are we expecting? Are we expecting people to appreciate for the wonderful dress that I'm wearing? All that is wrong. That kind of attachment to food, that kind of attachment to clothing, dressing up, that is what we need to give up. And Mahaprabhu is saying that we should not expect any honor from others, and but we should be willing to give all respect and all honor to others. That is very, very important, and this will keep our mind very much in control, and we'll be able to chant Krishna's names, without any break. Because when we expect respect and then we don't get it, that's very disturbing for the mind. So even when we are sitting to chant, we'll be constantly thinking of that person who said this to me, who behaved like this to me, and that really spoils our chanting. So if we are able to maintain this humble mood of not expecting any respect but giving all respect to others, then we'll be able to chant Krishna's names without any interruption. And Prabhupada is explaining in the purport to verse 237 what is Gramya Katha. When we have a family, then, people talking about family life, this and that. This is called Gramya Katha. But a person in the renounced order never indulges in either hearing or talking about such subjects. Now, as householders, many of us, we will have to talk to our relatives or other family members, friends, or office colleagues. We cannot stop all conversation completely, but we have to limit it to as much as is required because our time is very precious. And then we don't have to get attached to those conversations. And then Prabhupada explains that, people in the renounced order, they do not get attached to eating palatable dishes, this, that, all that is very unfit for people in the renounced order. And then chanting of the holy name, that is what constantly goes on, and thinking of how to serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. That is where our mind should really be focusing. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I have given you these instructions briefly. Sarup Damodar will give you the details. And then Mahaprabhu quotes a very famous verse, Shikshashtakam, third verse, where he says, Trinadapi Shunichena, where this instruction he's given to several devotees at different times. And that shows that what an important instruction this is, because we should not expect personal honor, but we should always be ready to give honor to others. And if we actually are able to do this, then we can easily chant the holy names of the Lord always. And then, after hearing these instructions, Raghunath Das Goswami offers respects, prayers to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu embraces him, gives him a lot of mercy. Okay, now let's move forward.
Hare
241.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yes,
And this
Mataji.
Grami Katha can be called Prajalpa also.
Yes, Mataji, it's like Prajalpai. Useless talks, no?
See,
Village
Mataji,
talks.
yeah, I understand. But see, sometimes, as you said, when relatives come, you can't keep your mouth shut also. At least you have to mingle a little bit. So
Yes.
is that also Prajalpa? You may talk minimum, but still you have to take part of that. They think maybe you don't want them to come. You're boycotting them.
Right.
So what is so?
Yes, Mataji. I mean, any kind of conversation that is not related to Krishna that we have to talk about, it is definitely prajalpa, but to some extent we can avoid it, but we cannot completely avoid it while we are in grihastha life. For renounced order, it's different, but for grihasthas, it is different. So that's what we have to try to limit it to the
Yeah.
bare minimum. That's what we can do,
Yes.
Mataji. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. So 241 onwards. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I read again?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 241 Mataji. पुनः समर्पिला तारे स्वरूपे रस्थाने अंतरंगा सेवा करे स्वरूपे रसाने. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again entrusted him to Sarup Damodar Thus, Raghunath Das rendered very confidential service with Swarup Damodar Goswami. Purport: Antaranga Seva refers to service performed in one's spiritual body. Swarup Damodar Goswami was formerly Lalita Devi. Raghunath Das Goswami, who was among his assistants, now also began to serve Radha and Krishna within his mind. Text 242. Hena kale aila sabha godera bhakta gana purvavat prabhu sabaya karila milana. Translation: At this time, all the devotees from Bengal arrived, and as previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met them with great feeling. Text 243. Sabalaya Kaila Prabhu Gundicha Marjana Sabalaina Kaila Prabhu Vanya Bhojana. As he had previously done, he cleansed the Gundicha temple and held a picnic feast in the garden with the devotees. Text 244. Ratha Yatraya Sabalaya Karila Nartana Dekhi Raghunathera Chamatkara Haila Mana. The Lord again danced with the devotees during the Rath Yatra festival. Seeing this, Raghunath Das was struck with wonder. Raghunatha Dasa Yabe Sabare Milila Advaita Acharya Tare Bahu Kripa Kaila. When Raghunath Das met all the devotees, Advaita Acharya showed him great mercy. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So we can understand how Srila Raghunath Das Goswami would be feeling. I mean, we cannot get that same feeling, but we can try to understand because, like it is mentioned here, that he is rendering confidential service with Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Prabhupada explains in the purport that Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Devi, and Raghunath Das Goswami was one of the assistants of Lalita Devi. So now, in this form, in Gaur Lila, their different form, they are doing that same kind of seva now. Okay, so this Antaranga Seva is that service which is performed in one's spiritual body. So in his consciousness, in his mind, Raghunath Das Goswami is serving Radha and Krishna along with Swarup Damodar Goswami. So that's Lalita Devi serving Radha and Krishna along with her assistant. And now, remember, we had read that the devotees from Bengal were coming to meet Mahaprabhu, but Raghunath Das Goswami does not join their party because everyone would be able to know who he is, and then he would get caught. So now those devotees have also reached Puri, but Raghunath Das Goswami reached early because in his eagerness to meet Mahaprabhu, he ran very fast. So within 12 days, he had reached, and just a few more days have passed after that. And now the other devotees from Bengal have also come, and Mahaprabhu meets them with great feeling. And just like, before Rath Yatra, the Gundicha temple cleaning takes place as a picnic feast in the garden. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he had spent years longing to see all this, longing to be with Mahaprabhu, to be with all the devotees, see all these pastimes in front of him. And he sees now this is actually happening. He sees the Rath Yatra festival. He sees Lord Chaitanya dancing along with all the devotees, and he's struck with wonder because he was waiting for this, and now it is actually happening in front of his eyes. And the devotees who have come from Bengal, Raghunath Das Goswami meets them. Advaita Acharya shows great mercy to him. So, in this way, the pastime unfolds. Okay, so we'll move forward. Krishnamurti Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
pranams
Krishna.
Mataji. शिवानंद शिवानंद सेन तंद्रे कहे न विवरण तोमलई ते तुमर पिता पताइला दास जाना. Translation basic Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. He also met Shivananda Sena, who informed him, "Your father sent 10 men to take you away." Text 247. तुम्हारे तुम्हारे पता ही थे पत्री पत्री पता इला मोरे जाना जाना कर है ते तुमा ना पाना गेला गहरे. Translation basic Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. He wrote me a letter asking me to send you back. But when those 10 men received no information about you. They returned home from Jankara. Text 248. चारी मासा रही भक्तगण गुंडे गले सुनि रघुनाथ तेरा पिता मनुष्य पतईला. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. When all the devotees from Bengal returned home after staying at Jagannath Puri for 4 months, Raghunatha Dasa's father heard about their arrival and therefore sent a man to Shivananda Sena. Text 249. सेई मनुष्य शिवानंद सेनेरे पूछिला महाप्रभु रस्ताने एक विरागी देखिला. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. That man inquired from Shivananda Sena, did you see anyone in the renounced order at the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Text 250. गोवर्धनेरा पुत्र तेन हो नाम रघुनाथा नीलाचले परिचया आचे तो मरसाता. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. That person is Raghunatha Dasa, the son of Govardhana Mujumdara. Did you meet him in Neelachala? Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Pranam, Prabhu. So in this section, we are reading that the devotees from Bengal have come and they meet Raghunath Das Goswami. Advaita Acharya shows lot of mercy and Shivananda Sen. So Raghunath Das Goswami's father had inquired from Shivananda Sen because Shivananda Sen would be responsible for taking all the devotees, making arrangements. So his father had asked him and he had sent 10 men to take Raghunath Das Goswami away. And he wrote a letter also to send his son back. But because Raghunath Das Goswami was not actually with Shivananda Sen, so those men had to go back. But then, after their stay in Jagannath Puri, when the devotees came back to Bengal, then Raghunath Das Goswami's father heard of their arrival and he sent a man to Shivanand Sen to ask that was there a sannyasi, a person in renounced order at the residence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is actually Raghunath Das, the son of Govardhan Majumdar. So, did you meet him in Nilachal? So, Raghunath Das Goswami's father is inquiring this of Shivananda Sen. Okay. Yeah, let's move forward. Padma Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 251, right?
Yes, Mataji. 251, 255.
Yeah. Okay. शिवानंद कहे तेनो पया प्रभु रास्ताने परम विख्यात तेनो के नहीं जाने. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Shivananda Sena replied, yes sir, Raghunatha Dasa is with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is a very famous man. Who does not know him? 252. Swarupe rastane tare kariya chena समर्पण प्रभुर भक्त गणेरा तेनो हया प्राण समा. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has placed him under the charge of Swarupa Damodara. Raghunatha Dasa has become just like the life of all the Lord's devotees. 253. Ratri din kare teno nama sankirtana shana matra nahi chade prabhura charana. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. He chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all day and night. He never gives up the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not even for a moment. 254. Parama vairagya tare nahi paksha paridhana yaiche taiche ahara kari raghaya parana. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. He is in the supreme order of renounced life. Indeed, he does not care about eating or dressing. Somehow or other, he eats and maintains his life. 255. Dasadanda ratri gele pushpanjali dekhiya simha dwara khada haya ahara lagiya. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. After 10 dandas, 4 hours of the night have passed, and Raghunatha Dasa has seen the performance of Pushpanjali. He stands at the Simha Dwara gate to beg some alms to eat. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna. So Shivananda Sen is now giving the response to the father of Raghunath Das that yes, He's there. He's with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's very famous. Everyone knows him. And he's under the charge of Sarup Damodar. And he has become like the life of all the devotees. He's so dear to all the devotees now. And then he describes that what is Raghunath Das Goswami doing in Puri. He's chanting Mahamantra all day and night. He never gives up the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even for a moment. And he's not caring about himself. He doesn't care about what he's wearing, what he's eating. And somehow he's just maintaining his life with, very bare minimum eating. And once the Pushpanjali is done for Lord Jagannath, then he stands at the Simhadwar gate, and whatever alms he gets, that is what he's eating and surviving. So this Shivananda Sen is telling to Raghunath Das Goswami's father. And we'll move forward. Gandhi Mati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Kehayadi, text 256. Kehayadi diya tabe kareya bhakshana, kabu upavasa, kabu kareya charavana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Someone gives him something to eat. Sometimes he fasts and sometimes he chews fried grains. Sorry. Yes, correct. Text 256. Sorry. 257. Scroll Mataji. Okay. Yeta suni sei manushya govartana stane kahila jiya Saba Raghunatha Vivarane. Translation. After hearing this, the messenger returned to Govardhana Majumatara and informed him all about Raghunatha Dasa. Text 258. Sunitandra Mata Pita Dukita Haila Putra Tani Dravya Manushya Patite Mana Kaila. Translation. Hearing the description of Raghunatha Dasa behavior in the renounced order, his father and mother were very unhappy. Therefore, they decided to send Raghunatha some men with goods for his comfort. Text 259. Chari Sata Mutra Duyi Bhrithya Eka Brahmana Sivanandera Tani Pataila Tata Tatakshana. Translation. Raghunatha Dasa's father immediately sent 400 coins to 2 servants and 1 Brahmana to Sivananda Sena. Text 260. Sivananda kahe tumi sabaite nariba ami hai siyabe amara sange yaiba. Translation. Sivananda Sena informed them, you cannot go to Jagannatha Puri directly. When I go there, you may accompany me. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we are reading that the description that Shivananda Sen is giving to the person who was a messenger from Raghunath Das Goswami's father, that, if someone gives him something, then he eats, otherwise he fasts, and sometimes he just eats some fried grains. Now, the messenger takes this message to Govardhan Majumdar and informs about how Raghunath Das Goswami is living in Puri, and hearing the description about how their son is living in very austere conditions. The mother and father of Raghunath Das feel very, very sad. They are very unhappy, and immediately they send things for him, and they send some men who can help him, assist him, and they send 400 coins, 2 servants and 1 Brahman to Shivananda, saying that these they have to be taken to Raghunath Das. But Shivananda Sen says that you cannot directly go. Next time when I go to Jagannath Puri, then you all can come with me. You can accompany me at that time. Okay? Yeah. Now let's move to the next part. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Text 261. Ebe ghara yaha yabe ami sabha chalimu tabe toma sabha kare sangalaya yamu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now go home. When all of us go, I shall take all of you with me. Text 262. Eta prastave Shri Kavi Karnapura Raghunatha Mahima Grante Likhila Prachura. Translation. Describing this incident, the great poet Sri Kavi Karnapura has written extensively about the glorious activities of Raghunatha Dasa in his Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. Text 263. Acharyo Yadunandana Sumadhura Sri Vasudeva Priyas Tachishyo Raghunatha iti Adiguna Pranadiko Madrisham Sri Chaitanya Kripatireka Satata Snigdha Swarupanubo Vairagyaika Nidhir Nakasya Vidito Nilachale Tishtatam. Translation. Raghunatha Dasa is a disciple of Yadunandana Acharya, who is very gentle and is extremely dear to Vasudeva Datta, a resident of Kanchanapalli. Because of Raghunatha Dasa's transcendental qualities, he is always more dear than life for all of us devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Since he has been favored by the abundant mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is always pleasing. Vividly providing a superior example for the renounced order, this very dear follower of Swarupa Damodar Goswami is the ocean of renunciation. Who among the residents of Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, does not know him very well? But this verse is from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 10.3 of Kavi Karnapura. Text 264. Yes sarvalokaika mano abhiruchya saubhagya bhukachita krishta pachya yatrayamaropana tulya kalam taprema shakhi falavana tulyaha. Translation. Because he is very pleasing to all the devotees, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami easily became like the fertile earth of good fortune, in which it was suitable for the seed of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be sown. At the same time that the seed was sown, it grew into a matchless tree of the love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and produced fruit. Perfect. This is the next verse from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 10.4. Text 265. Shivanandaya chese manushe kahila Karnapura sei rupe shloka varnila. Translation. In these verses, the great poet Kavi Karnapura gives the same information that Shivananda Sena conveyed to the messenger from Raghunath Dasa's father. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully read. Hari Bol. So these verses are glorifying Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, because Shivanand Sen tells the the people who have come, the servants, and they have brought things to take for Raghunath Das Goswami, and he says that now you go home. When I go, I will take all of you with me. And Sri Kavi Karnapur in his Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak is glorifying Raghunath Das Goswami. So this verse 263, where it is mentioned that he is very gentle, he's extremely dear to Vasudev Datta, he's a disciple of Yadunandana Acharya. And he has such transcendental qualities that he's very dear to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's favored by the abundant mercy of Lord Chaitanya. He's always pleasing. And he's a superior example of the renounced order. I mean, doing what he is doing for a normal person itself is very difficult. And we have to remember that he's coming from such an aristocratic and opulent background. His family was so rich. He had all opulences, right? That was his opulences were compared to Indra's opulences. Imagine leaving all that, just living in such austere conditions. That has, one has to be a great, renunciate. One has to be totally detached in one's heart and be so dedicated to Lord Chaitanya. Only then can someone do what Raghunath Das is doing. And he's the dear follower of Sarup Damodar Goswami. He's the ocean of renunciation. So it says that who among the residents of Neelachal does not know him very well. So he was so dear to all the devotees in Jagannath Puri. And then it's mentioned in 264 that because he is very pleasing to all the devotees, Raghunath Das Goswami is like a fertile earth of good fortune in which the suitable seed of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be sown. He is so wonderful. Then definitely, Lord Chaitanya will be merciful on him. Lord Chaitanya will be attached to him. And it's a matchless tree of love of Sri Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu will grow there and produce fruit. So in these verses, the great poet Kavi Karnapura gives the same information that Shivananda Sen had conveyed. So Shivananda Sen had also glorified Raghunath Das Goswami, and Sri Kavi Karnapura has also done the same thing in his verses. Okay. Yeah, let's read 266 onwards. Would someone like to read? Let me read. वर्षंतारे शिवानंदा चले नीला चले रघुनाथेरा सेवका विप्रतारा संगीत संग चले. The next year, when Shivananda Sen was going to Jagannath Puri as usual, the servants and the Brahmana, who was a cook, went with him. So his parents had sent them, right? The servant, the Brahmana. So Shivananda Sen takes them and they all go to Jagannath Puri together. से विप्रभृत्याचारी शता मुद्रा लाना नीला चले रघुनाथे मिलीला आसिया. The servants and Brahman brought 400 coins to Jagannath Puri, and there they met Raghunath Das. Now, because his family was so well to do, they could not bear to think that their son was living like this. So they have sent, along with the servants and the Brahman, they have sent 400 coins also for Raghunath Das. रघुनाथ दास अंगीकार न करिला द्रव्य लाया दुई जना ताहानी रहिला. Raghunath Das did not accept the money and men sent by his father. Therefore, the Brahman and one of the servants stayed there with the money. Now, Raghunath Das Goswami doesn't want anything to do with the money. If he did, then why would he leave home? All he wants is the shelter of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. So he doesn't want the money. So the Brahman and one of the servants, they have the money and they stay in Jagannath Puri. But Raghunath Das Goswami does not accept that. ताबे रघुनाथ करी अनेक यतना मासे दुई दीना कैला प्रभुर निमंत्रणा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. At that time, Raghunath Das began inviting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house with great attention for 2 days every month. दुई निमंत्रणे लागे कौड़ी अष्टपाणा ब्राह्मण भृत्य था निकरेना एतेक ग्रहणा. Translation: The cost for these 2 occasions was 640 kaudis. Therefore, he would take that much from the servant and the Brahman. Now, Raghunath Das Goswami, he doesn't want anything for himself, but he wants to serve Mahaprabhu. So he invites Mahaprabhu to his house 2 days every month, and the cost of these 2 occasions, these 2 days, comes to 640 kaudis, and he would only take that much from the servant and the Brahman, not more than that. So all he is taking is for the service of Mahaprabhu. Okay, yeah. Padma Mataji. Next 5 verses.
Hare Krishna Mataji. ऐमत निमंत्रण वर्षादुई कैला काचे रघुनाथ निमंत्रण चादी दिला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Raghunatha Dasa continued to invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way for 2 years, but at the end of the second year he stopped. 272. Masadui abe Raghunath na kare nimantrana Swarupe Puchila Tabe Sachiranandana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Raghunatha Dasa neglected to invite Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 2 consecutive months, the Lord, the son of Sachi, questions Swarupa Damodar. Text 273. Raghu ke ne amaya nimantrana chadi dila स्वरूप कहे माने खींचू विचार करीला. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord asked, "Why has Raghunatha Dasa stopped inviting me?" Swarupa Damodar replied, "He must have reconsidered something in his mind." 274. Vishaira Dravyalana Kari Nimantrana Prasanna Nahala Ihaya Jani Prabhu Ramana. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. I invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by accepting goods from materialistic people. I know that the Lord's mind is not satisfied by this. Mm, 275. Morachita Dravya Laite Naya Nidmala Ei Nimantrane Dekhi Pratishtha Matra Phala. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. My consciousness is impure because I accept all these goods from people who are interested only in pounds, shillings, and pence. Therefore, by this kind of invitation, I get only some material reputation. Papat also Mataji? Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll read the Papat.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that people who are under the bodily conception of life are called materialists. If we accept the offerings of such people, place them before the Lord, and invite Vaishnavas to partake of the prasadam, that attempt will gain us only a material reputation, not the actual benefit of service to a pure Vaishnava. One should therefore try to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead by fully surrendering at his lotus feet. If one engages for the service of the Lord, whatever money one has honestly earned, that is spiritual service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we read that Raghunathas would invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for prasad twice a month, but he did that for 2 years and then he stopped. And then Mahaprabhu, when Raghunath Das neglected to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 2 consecutive months, after 2 years, for 2 months he didn't invite. So the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sarup Damodar that why has Raghunath stopped inviting me suddenly? And Sarup Damodar Goswami says that definitely he would have thought something. He must be considering something in his mind. So, and what is it? What is it that Raghunath Das is thinking? He's thinking that I'm inviting Mahaprabhu, but the goods that I'm using for the Lord's service, they are coming from materialistic people. I know the Lord's mind is not satisfied by this. So that's why he stops inviting Mahaprabhu after 2 years are over. And Raghunath Das Goswami is thinking that my consciousness is impure because I accept all these goods from people who are interested only in money, only in pounds, shilling, and pence. So, therefore, by this kind of invitation, I get only some material reputation. So, Prabhupada is quoting that how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that people who are totally under the bodily conception of life, they are called materialists. And if we accept offerings from materialistic people and place it before the Lord and invite Vaishnavas to take that, then by doing this activity, we will just get some material reputation, but we will not get the benefit of pure service to a devotee. So how should we serve the Lord? By fully surrendering to the Lord. We can earn money honestly, and that should be used for the service of the Lord, not getting something from materialistic people and just offering it to the Lord. And that's why it's very important that we should be careful about the whatever food we are taking in. It should where it is coming from. Just anything cooked by anyone, bought from any shop. Why are these things, why are we told not to do all this? Why are we asked that, we should be careful where the food is coming from? Because the food carries the consciousness. So if it is cooked by a materialistic person, it will definitely affect our consciousness also. And that is why devotees are very, very cautious about what they are eating, where that is coming from. Also, what activity is one doing to earn that money. That's why devotees are told not to earn money through dishonest means also. All these things are very, very important. At a very subtle level, they affect our consciousness. And we are learning this from this example of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. He is so very careful that Mahaprabhu will not like this. What I'm doing, this will only get me some material reputation, but this will not actually please the Lord. And in the later verses, we see that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also agrees and appreciates this thought by Raghunath Das Goswami. So, yes, these instructions may appear very, very strict, but we have to understand that why that strictness is coming, because it is important. We have to take care of our consciousness. We have, because that affects our mind, and ultimately it is our mind that takes us from one place to the other. So we have to be careful about these the sources of income, or the food that we are taking in, what kind of people we are mingling with. uh, Associating is different than just having a social interaction. Many times we need to have social interactions at our workplace, or with our family members, but that is different. Associating means we get attached to those people, we have an exchange of thoughts, we may get affected by their thoughts. So that kind of a deep attachment, we have to be very careful. That should not happen with anyone and everyone. That we should have only with devotees of the Lord. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Yeah, any
Mataji,
questions?
one question. Yeah.
Yes, Nataji.
Mataji, when you say the money one has honestly earned, nowadays most of the people, they are not earning honestly, other than the people are working. Business people, stock exchange, there are so many ways, Mataji. Black money, different ways. So now even when we sell a book, one of the Bhagavad Gita or whatever during, in the month of December, book distribution, we don't know whose money is what. So as long, even in the temple, people come and give donation, they put it in the till. So nobody can question them, no Mataji, as long as they are giving it to a temple. I don't know. They're going to temple, so that becomes, it's a good thing. What do you think, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, when they are giving for books, when they are giving donation to the temple, that is the best that they can do. That will only purify them. And
Yeah.
ultimately, by the Lord's mercy, they may even give up the unfair means that they are using.
Yeah.
For us personally,
Yeah, okay.
that we are earning, that should not come through unfair means. That's why
Yes.
devotees are told, even in share market, there are certain kind of trading which devotees are told not to do. Where it is just purely like a gambling. That is what
Yeah.
one should not do. And then there are some things which are allowed for devotees. So that has to be done with guidance of seniors. What should we do, what we should not do. Sometimes there are devotees who have given up jobs because the work involved selling non-vegetarian things or transporting non-vegetarian things also. So devotees who are really serious about their work, about their Krishna consciousness, they have given up such kind of jobs also,
Yes.
because ultimately something wrong is involved. So that the greater goal should always be kept in mind when we are choosing our profession, or the kind of job that we are in, or the kind of food that we are eating. That's why we are reading all these things, so that we are conscious that, okay,
Yeah.
this is something I should not do, this is something I should be careful about doing. Now, when they're giving in the temple, Mataji, like you rightly said, we have no control, but then they are doing a good thing. Ultimately, they'll be purified because they are giving that money for the service of the Lord.
Yeah.
But that's why I have heard devotees saying that the brahmacharis who are staying in the temple, the money that is coming, it could be coming from all sorts of different places. We don't know whether it
Yeah.
is fair means, unfair means. That is why the brahmacharis, they have to be even more careful about their sadhana. Their sadhana should be very, very strong. Otherwise, the impact of these forces can also work. So that's the ultimate thing, Mataji. We are surrounded with so many things we have no control over. Like
Kanyu.
us in our families also, we have so many people that we have to talk to. We have no control over that, and that is why our sadhana saves us. That's why it said now that morning we do our sadhana very well, and that acts like, our protection for the whole day.
Yeah.
So that is what we have control over, Mataji, our own sadhana and mercy of the devotees. So many things are out of our control that we can't do anything about. But our
So true.
sadhana, our association of devotees, that is what we can work towards.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Just wanted some clarification on that.
Yeah, very good points, Mataji. So we'll stop here today. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा, प्रणाम। थैंक यू ऑल सो मच। सी यू नेक्स्ट वीक। हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
Next week, tomorrow, no, Mataji? Tomorrow we have class.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant like that.